Hello everyone. Can you hear me? Hello. Let me unmute you guys. Okay. Is there? Can you hear me, guys? There's some echo at the background. Hi. Can someone confirm? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah. So today we are here to basically discuss about financial modeling. And anyone who can, let me just give you brief background on myself. My name is Rupinder Monga. I've been uh, training for almost 11 years. So more than 10 years I've been training. I am an engineer. So I did my engineering from IIT Delhi and did my master's in finance from Europe. I have been working for almost 14 years and currently, so most of the experience is in finance, and in between I was working in fintech also, and right now I'm working for a telecom company where basically my main task is to value projects. So the projects are there in the market and we bid for that, and for that we first value it so that we can bid accordingly if those are of some, if some projects make sense or not. Okay, so that's my background. And before we start, can you guys please tell me that what exactly is financial modeling? Like, as per you, what is financial modeling? Yes, guys. Any answers? I mean, so assume that this we are going to discuss. It's not like one side session. So I would like you to like discuss with me. Meet Jan, Ati, Avishi, Chetan, Dixali, and Nikita, Rabia, Sheetal, Shravan, Sumit, Supriya, Uday. Yes, guys, tell me what exactly is financial modeling? Tell me, guys. You can speak also rather than writing. It says financial data analysis. Okay, valuation of company. What else? So I got one answer as valuation of company, another I got financial data analysis and building financial model. But what exactly is financial model? That's my question. Yes. Can you please tell me what exactly is financial modeling? So when we talk about financial modeling, so I agree it is financial data analysis. At the same time, we value company, but it is basically valuation of anything. So it can be company, it can be project. For example, I give you an example about myself that I work in a company where we bid for projects and we value projects. So that is nothing but financial modeling. So anything, any company we value, any project we value, even budgeting. So it's just about finance, right? It's financial modeling, and we model that. So we have the data and we model around that. It can be budgeting, simple budgeting, like even if you do it for your household, right? So if you try to say, okay, I want to budget my expenses, right? So basically money which I have, my salary. So you, on one side you will say, okay, this is my salary and this I expect as expenses, and then you try to model it. That is also financial modeling. You do budgeting for the company. So I used to do it for like one of my previous companies. That is also a part of financial modeling. Okay, so the financial modeling is nothing but it is the valuation of something, right? So it can be project, it can be like the budget, it can be company, it can be anything, right? So that is financial modeling. So now when we talk about that, okay, we want to learn financial modeling, another question comes is, it usually we have is financial modeling in Excel. Now, when we say financial modeling in Excel, why Excel? Can somebody tell me that why Excel? Why not something else? Anyone? Yes, someone. So there are so many tools available in the market. It can be like Excel is one of them, and I got an answer because everything has to do with the numbers. But numbers can be like worked on in other tools also. Like there are programming languages. So I'm not saying that Excel is good or bad. I'm just saying that like Google spreadsheets is there that is similar to Excel. Then we have MATLAB, that's a statistical software, R statistical software, Python general programming language, and then there is IBM tool, which is similar to, I mean, they have similar to spreadsheets. Okay, so there are many tools which are similar to Excel, and many tools that are different from Excel, but the same thing can be done. Now, the reason, so Shravan says data to require to information. I didn't get what do you mean, Shravan, for that. But the idea is that one thing obviously is that it's easy to visualize. But if you talk about, let's say, doing financial modeling in MATLAB or R or any programming language, the problem is it's difficult to visualize. You cannot see what's happening. So you can give the input, you can write the code, and you can get the answer, but how exactly it is doing, we don't know. So that's another problem with these kind of tools. So if you want to analyze that, basically visualize, then I'll come to that, Chetan, in a minute. So if you want to visualize, the better is to do it in Excel. I mean, visualize means when you write a formula, you can see that how exactly it is executing the same. Okay. Now, Chetan is saying Power BI. Now, when I say visualize, visualize doesn't mean that basically we are talking about like charts and everything, right? So I agree that if you talk about charts and everything, that is, I mean, Power BI is one of the good tools for that. But when you want to create financial modeling, Power BI is not the tool. Okay. Now, the best part about Excel is that it is available everywhere. Okay. And because it is available everywhere, it's the chances are very high that you know somewhat that how to handle that. I'm not saying that, okay, if you buy a computer and you have access to Excel, then you are like expert in Excel, but you have seen Excel, you know how to handle Excel, move around Excel, and basically work around Excel. Okay, so that's why it's available everywhere. So I work in, let's say, US and you are in India, we can collaborate. But if I work in some other thing, and you work in Excel or some other tool which is not common, so we have a problem, right? So like Power BI, by default I don't know Power BI. For example, I mean, I actually work on Power BI, but let's say I don't know Power BI. So what happens is So maybe I work on Tableau. So Tableau is most commonly used software. So we have Tableau, Power BI. There is one called ClickView, right? So these three are like famous for data visualization, but not for financial modeling. So that's why I mean, learning financial modeling is one thing, doing it hands on is something else, right? So combination of both is very important. Now you can if you go online, you can find so many material about learning financial modeling. Okay, the only problem is, and obviously they will, online videos are there to, I mean, they try to tell you that okay, they also help you in doing it practically, but in reality, there is no combination. They are either trying to do basically only practically, they are either, or they are trying to do theoretically. So the combination is missing. So if you want to learn financial modeling, the most important part is that you need to know the theory, plus you need to know how to execute practically, because without doing it, it's very difficult. To give an example, let's this COVID is going on right now. Initially, like, I've been working for 14 years, so I've, like, I had my own struggles, but these days, because I mean, because of COVID, many people are struggling, and I got an invitation on LinkedIn, right? So the person is recent graduate from a university, good university, and he was just approaching to understand that what is the process to enter into a job, something like this financial modeling where I'm working. And I simply said that it is obviously you need to know, and but you need to know hands on. You can study everything in the university, for example, but unless you do it, you will not be able to get anything out of it. Okay, so that is the most important part for actually anything, but especially for financial modeling, because once, unless you do the financial modeling, you will not be able to understand how it, like, what kind of problems you face. Yeah. So another example, basically recently, so I was working on a project. So there is a problem called interest during construction. So it's easy to solve with Excel, but if it is more than one, then sometimes Excel behave funny. So you need to apply VBA macros. So that only you get to know unless, I mean, once you start doing it by yourself, right? So that's why it's very important to do the hands-on part. Okay, now who can do it? Anyone can do it, because there is no degree requirement. If you, like, have the right guidance, you have the right approach, then you can just do it. Like, you can learn it and do the practice. Now let me explain basically what exactly EduPristine offers. Now, as I told you that valuation, or basically financial modeling, includes a lot of things, right? So it means valuation of the project, it means valuation of the company, it it has a process, okay, and we do it in Excel. So one, if basically what we do at EduPristine, basically we have day one, which is purely Excel. So it's not that we are making you expert, we are trying to explain it to you that how you can get around things, and obviously you will get expert once you start practicing. Okay, so we'll discuss few of the basic rules which are required to start doing financial modeling. And it's not that, like, it covers everything, because that's not possible at all, right? So I've been working with Excel, let's say, around 14-15 years. So I can say, I can like, say with confidence that I might be using like 60-50% of Excel, not like full, right? So even basically, you work for so many years, we don't work the full thing in Excel. Excel is huge. So what here we are trying to do is that we are trying to learn that how to learn basically. Then day 2, 3, 4, basically we'll start with the case study, the first case study, which is about the valuation. So this is company valuation. Now, 80% of the companies, so manufacturing, service companies, right? Apart from banking and insurance, because banking and insurance has completely different scenario. But rest of the companies are manufacturing or service, right? Now in this, hello, uh, can you hear me, guys? One of the student, Grishma, is saying I'm not audible. Shravan, can you hear me? Okay. Uh, let me. Okay. Thank you, Rabia. Thank you, Shravan. Thank you, Aarti. Let me just. Grishma. Others are. Sorry. Spelling mistake. Others are able to hear me. Please check your speakers. Thanks. Okay. Now, so I was saying that so first we will learn. I mean, after Excel, we will be working on a case study which is valuation. Now, it's not that okay we work on this case study and you will be only able to solve this kind of case study. No. So 80. So I was explaining 80% of the case studies are either I mean in real life are service or manufacturing. Now, if you understand the process, so what we teach is we teach the process. We don't teach that okay, do this, do this. So there is a process. Let's say there are 10 steps. So those 10 to 12 steps you need to follow, and obviously with each and every different company, those 10 to 12 steps will have different items within that, but the process will remain same, and that is very important. So if you understand the process, you will be able to do, I mean, valuation of anything. So process is important. That is what we teach. Then we do project finance modeling. Again, process. Okay, and basically in project finance, we also create basically this one thing I was mentioning, interest during construction. So that comes in mainly in project finance. So we basically work on that also. And then M&A. So if in case there is merger and acquisition, then how basically they what kind of analysis need to be done, if the deal was good or bad, what are the concepts, right? So again, that is part of valuation, right? So basically we try to value the deal. And then so this part, the first case is done based on a dummy project, a dummy basically a data set, but then we do it on actual data. Okay, so we'll take actual case and with the data, and we follow the same, or what do you can say, similar steps to value the company. Okay, and then we do it, and you will notice at this point of time that it's the process what matters. So it's a different industry we are doing here, but we are following almost the same steps. So like 10-20% might change, and obviously because each company will have different line items, so everything in the basically in the model will change. But how you create, like okay, doing this, working on P&L first, let's say, and then balance sheet, and then like first assumptions, then revenue assumptions, operating expense assumption, and so on. So that is what is important. So the idea is we learn how to work on the model, be it any kind of model. Now, as I told you that in few cases, it gets tough to work on Excel. So we need to introduce macros. So we get macros and day 11, 12, 13, 14. So basically introduction macros, and then implementing few items in the macros, and then charting. So few of the charting techniques we already will be covering in this part. Okay, so for example, in this we create a football field chart. Okay, and then in this project finance, basically we create something like uh, what you can say, dynamic chart. So if we click on one that, okay, I want P ratio or chart, something like that, okay, it will create that. And if I don't want, I just click that and it will remove that, and it will get you another one. Then the last is basically we work on complex formula so that we make things easy. So when I say complex formula, it will make life easy for others to use it. Okay, so because 70-80% of the time when you create a model, you are not going to use it, somebody else is going to use it. So the better the you create it, it's good for the other person who is going to use it. So the more complex things you have, you try to make it simple, okay, with complex formulas obviously. Okay, so we will try to see that during the last day. So it's a 14-day course. Okay, so that is basically what we teach in the financial modeling course at EduPristine. Now, when we basically, so this is just an example of the model, a sample preview. So as I told you, remember the charts what we create, we look up lookup formulas. Now these are basic formulas, by the way, and these are steps like revenue build up and these things, right? Now we have understood that, okay, what we are going to cover, but why do we need to learn financial modeling? Anyone who can tell me why do we need to learn financial modeling? We have already covered this part, like some part, but anyone who can tell me why we would like to learn? I mean, why there is a need in the market? Why there is a need for analysis and valuation? Yes, correct.
to
Yes, Rajshekhar. Yes, tell me.
to understand the company value, the future value.
Correct. So, I mean, as I told you that I mean, it doesn't only apply on valuation, but yes, I mean, valuation of the company, it also applies on valuation of anything, right? So, Rabia, correct. So, it is basically we try to analyze, obviously, we try to analyze and value what? It can be company, project, or maybe budget, anything, right? So, basically, let's say your company wants to open a new business in a new city, basically the current business in the new city. So you will value all the things, right? What kind of cost, what kind of revenue, what kind of assets, everything. So you value that. Even that is a part of financial modeling. And
Mm.
Aarti says it helps to know our management financial status, helps to prepare budget. Correct. So the need, I mean, we already discussed that I mean, in this world, there are so many companies for every company. So, what is the final motive for every company and even for us to earn money? And to earn money, you have to manage money, right? So, this is more of managing money, that okay, where to invest, why to invest, whether to invest or not. Okay, so if you the example which I gave you, that so we bid for the project. So when we bid for the project, if it is not profitable for my company, we will not bid it, right? So we need to see, does this project make sense for us or not, right? So anything, so basically it can be evaluating various projects. Commercial banks, basically what they do is they try to value the loans, right? So basically, if you want to give the loan, so whether, I mean, what will be the EMI? So just an example. So what will be the EMI of a particular loan, or EY? EMI is equal monthly installments. EY is equal yearly installments. Okay, so basically we try to value each and everything. That's why we require this thing. Okay, now the course which is offered by EduPristine, the aim is to make you an expert. Now you will not become expert on the first day, but by the end of this, you will feel that, okay, you know enough things that obviously if you keep practicing, then you will remain the expert, right? if obviously if you don't practice, nothing will stay there forever, right? So if I learn something today and if I don't practice for a week, it's gone, right? So you need to, first thing is you need to learn theory, then you need to apply that theory, okay, practically, and then keep practicing, okay, right? So that should be the process for you to enter into financial modeling, right? And because uh, the prerequisite is, I mean, because many banks, especially because of COVID, they have the choice, right? And many people are looking for a job, and there's something extra edge which is required by candidates. So if, I mean, I'm not saying that it will get you a job, but it will make you more better perspective than the other persons. Let's say you and I go for a job and we have the same background, and you know financial modeling and I don't know, so obviously they will prefer you. So the better prospects will be there for the person who knows extra. So be it, I mean, finance modeling, be it something else, but the idea is simple, that you need something something extra. So every one of us needs something extra in today's world, because there is so much competition. Everybody's doing MBA, everybody has the same, or like each one of us try to get a better uh, education than the other person, so that we can have a better life or better career. So you need something extra for the so that you can get a better job. So these kind of skills, like depending on your, obviously, your interest. So if your interest is in numbers, then financial modeling is one thing with where you can try to skill up. Okay, so to enter into this field, so many people ask, okay, if I want to enter into this field, do I need some basically skills? Okay, now the skill is that you need to practice, and you need to learn the proper process. Okay, so if you know the proper process and you practice and you have the right approach, that's all you need. Okay, obviously you, I mean, you need to keep practicing so that you don't forget those things, but these are the only things you need. Obviously you need to understand the numbers, financial things, so both the things, like theory also and practical also, both the things you need to understand before entering into this field. Okay, now let me just show you. So these kind of the certificates you will get. So if you just attend the course and do nothing of it, and basically you will get the certificate of participation. But if you give the test, you'll get the certificate of excellence, which is along with PSC Institute. Okay, so if you clear that test, you will be able to get the certificate of excellence. Okay, so I mean, I always suggest that to students to attempt the test, so that it also basically tells you where do you stand among other students. Okay, are, are you able to solve actual problems or not? So that is about financial modeling. Any questions about financial modeling? Anything you want to ask? Any questions? So I have not skipped. Basically, I covered that. So, for example, why financial modeling program? Uh, that this course aims to make you an expert, and what skills are needed to build financial models. Okay, so we have already covered that. But if you have, uh, Josefa is asking, can it be applied to the field of business consulting? Now, it depends on what exactly you are doing in business consulting, but it can be applied in any field. Okay, but if you can tell me what exactly you do or what kind of business consulting you mean, then I can better um, like put some light on that. Strategy, yeah. So basically, yes. So to create strategies, right, you need to work on numbers. Okay, now So as mentioned earlier, this financial modeling is huge. So maybe there are 100 things, and let's say we cover like 50, 60 things in education course. Now the rest of the 40 doesn't mean that if you learn 60% of things, 40% you don't know. You understand the process and you now know those things also. If you practice, you will be able to do those also. Okay. So any business, regardless of business consulting or basically any business you talk about, it's all about numbers, money and everything, right? And when you create strategies, okay, you play with numbers. So you need to have this kind of skill which can help you analyze better. Okay, and financial modeling is one of those skills. Okay, so 8 is why financial modeling. Yes, Shravan. Any other doubts, guys? Then I'll explain about EduPristine. So let me quickly explain about EduPristine. EduPristine was started in 2008. So like 12 years it's been. They started with finance field. They are considered to be leader in finance field. Okay, so they started with FRM, CFA, and then basically started financial modeling, and they have trainings in digital marketing, analytics, finance and accounts. So finance and accounts is Adusini is the leader in finance and accounts training in India. Okay, and they provide both. I mean, now because of COVID, there's a concern, but they provide everything in online and offline platforms. Are they saying actually financial management is very fast, especially capital restructuring and working capital and portfolio management, in which part we focus and give. Okay, so completely agree. The finance part is vast. Now, yes, she's asking that where should we focus more, and then depending on what you want to do. Let's say you want to do accounts. Now, only accounts is different. Okay, and finance part of the company is different. Now, when you talk about capital restructuring, working capital, portfolio management, so this doesn't cover portfolio management, but yes, in this financial modeling, we do talk about working capital. We do talk about capital restructuring. So it might not be in that much detail. Okay, so the idea of this course is to learn to create financial models rather than accounting. Okay, so we are not, I mean, we will be discussing relevant accounting concepts, but the idea is not to learn accounting in this course. The idea is to learn financial modeling. Okay, now depending on where your interest lies, then I can suggest where you should go. Okay, but in case you want to, if you are talking about financial management, then I think this is a good course for you, but it will not cover the, like, it might not cover all the theory which you want, but the relevant part of theory is covered here, which is required for financial modeling. Does that make sense, Arti? So I'm saying EduPristine is a part of SLM Group, which is a $3 billion company. Have basically 9 institutions under its belt. Okay, and it is a global organization, and there are like around 20, basically 16,000 employees with SLM Group. Okay, so this is now this Education started as Indian company, and it grew so much that the US based company SLM, they acquired this company. Okay, and by looking at the quality training what Education provides. Okay, now I've, you might have noticed I've been just speaking about like hard skills, right? So you need to know theory, you need to know practical, everything. But when you go for an interview, you need soft skills training also, right? And if a person is not able to express himself or herself, then there's no use of hard skills, right? So education also provides soft skills training along with these hard skills, so that you are a complete package once you complete this course or any course from education basically, right? So education provides soft skills training along with that. Okay, and most of all the trainers who take I mean this course or any course at education, they all are working professionals. They have industry experience and they know what is required actually in the industry to enter into this field and what kind of problems they face on day to day basis. So that is very important to understand, right? So I'm not saying that okay, after doing this you will get the job, but it will help you to get the job. Okay, so you will have basically uh, people who are working in the field, they will tell you what kind of problems they are facing so that you don't face that problem, or in case you face that problem, then you will be able to resolve that problem easily. Okay, now education also provides what do you say placement assistance. It is education is in touch with many companies who want like people in basically who want to companies which want to hire people from this field, and education doesn't charge anything for that. So education connects, so they companies comes to education that saying that okay, they have this kind of job opening, and then education connects the right candidate to that kind of job opening, and then the process which happens like interview everything. Okay, so it's not so basically there's some assistance which is provided by education. Now
Yeah,
education, yes.
I have one question. So we had experience in a different domain, almost 4 to 5 years.
Okay,
So
may I
can
know
we
which
get a
domain?
opportunities? Yeah, I'm working with HSBC in banking sector. So
Okay.
in accounts payable. So will that be easy to get a job? After this domain. So what are
Right. So
the
let me
scenarios?
explain. Let
Yeah.
me explain. So whenever I mean, a person wants to shift domain, okay, and I suggest this to everyone, and you can check my all the videos, and the same statement I make always, that if you are shifting a domain, okay, now let's say you are working in HSBC, and now you are trying to, if you are in accounts, and now you want to shift to financial modeling. If you try to do it outside, I mean outside HSBC, it's difficult. To be very frank, it's difficult. It's not impossible, but it's difficult. Difficult in the sense because you already have 4 or 5 years of experience, and obviously, let's say you are earning X amount, and you are shifting domain. You don't want to go below X. I mean, it can be at least matching X, right? And then or above X. That's the reason you're shifting. Okay, now you don't want to start from scratch, that okay, maybe get a fresh salary. So the best idea is, which I always recommend, that you should try to get the job which or domain in which you want to go in the same company where you are already working. So I'm talking about those people who have like some kind of experience like you. So what I'm saying is, let's say you work in HSBC, and HSB, it's a bank, right? So they will have some financial modeling section or department, right? Or many people will be working on something else or financial modeling. Now you try to, I mean, I'm saying this, if possible, you try to shift within the company. Okay. Now once you shift within the company, you have the same salary. Your salary has not changed, and you have shifted the domain. Now if now especially if you are there is internal transfer, and the new manager obviously who needs the person, he or she knows that okay, you know this subject, okay, or maybe you have done some kind of training, and you can prove to them that okay, you know this thing, then obviously you have a better chance than others who have not done any kind of training on this. Okay, so once you get there, you work for 6 months, 1 year, whatever period. It's easier for you now to shift outside, because now you can combine your previous experience and your current experience. There's nothing to lie about, right? But you can link it, okay? Because when you talk about financial modeling, it's important to understand accounts also, okay? Because if you don't know anything about accounts, the few things you need to learn to at least basically, for example, you are dealing with the balance sheet. So unless you understand a balance sheet, you will not be able to do anything about the financial modeling. So the best path is to shift within the same company, and then if you like, obviously, then you can like keep the same job, or maybe after 1 year you can shift it. Now they will not treat you as a fresher. I mean, outside the company will not treat you like a fresher. They will treat you like the same experience, right? 4 5 years, whatever you have. So that's my always a suggestion, that okay, this is how you should try to shift, if possible, to have the domain change within the same company. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay,
Thank
thank
you.
you. Now, EduPristine has delivered trainings across different like corporates. So these are like KPMG, ENY, Bank of America, Mizuho, uh, Franklin Templeton, Credit Suisse, HSBC. So we have given training in HSBC also. Okay, and then different institutions like ADI Delhi, BITS Planning, FMS, ISB. So all these institutions we have provided the training, and that explains the quality of training EduPristine provides. Okay, then so exact offering is basically we have 14 days of training, 5 hours a day. Okay, and you get live webinar, online lectures with recordings at one place. You get the notes. So basically, notes is basically it's kind of a PPT, right, or PDF format, where you will have all the required information that how to exactly create the model in case you want to review that later, or maybe during the class, or uh, the same thing can be done through recordings also. We give certification and like admission and BSc. And as I mentioned, the most important part is we do it case study approach. Case study approach is basically actual real life or imitating real life problems we try to solve in the class, and that is important. Theory you can learn by yourself. Theory you can learn from school, colleges, but the hands-on part, I mean, we cannot learn by ourselves, right? I mean, you can learn, you can try online. I mean, the only thing, I mean, these days everything is free, and the problem is everything is free means that there is too much available things, too much things are available online, free, and it's very difficult to pick and choose what is important for you and what you should do it. Like, so there's a lot of time waste. So the best part is that if someone can guide you that okay, what do you need to do and what you should not do, and how you can do it with hands-on case studies. Okay, so that is the offering we have. Now in case any doubts you have, anything you want to discuss, any questions guys, anything regarding anything, like be it jobs or classes, or like what or we are going to cover, anything you want to ask? It
How
says
about the
okay.
job opportunities in Hyderabad? Do we have, like example companies? What kind of companies, provide the
So
job?
what kind of companies usually hire, or what kind of companies education students get hired?
No, get hired.
Like education students, that's what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay, so that detail I will not have. I'm the like trainer here. So somebody might be in touch with you from EduPristine, like sales counselor, I think, right?
Okay.
So they can and they will contact you after this also. You can ask them. They can give you better details about that rather than me telling you what companies they are.
Okay.
Okay. Uh, okay. So Sheetal, what I can show you here. So Sheetal is saying, can you please share slides of 14 days syllabus again? One thing is I can show you right now, but another thing what you can do is the person you are in touch with, you can ask them. They can share this file with you. Okay, and they can basically also share whatever you need, like the details of the syllabus and everything. uh Arti Shah is saying, I am CS. Whether this course is helpful for me, it enhances my skills in management. So, any kind of, so it, so this answer is for Arti and for everyone. So, any kind of tool which we learn that makes our life easy is actually good for us. Okay. Now, this job which I got, I mean, the current job, my CEO is basically, I work, it's a startup, right? So my CEO used to do everything by himself because it's a startup. Now I do this part, I do it for him, and he said that, I mean, you have made my life easy, and the simple is because I have like good skills in Excel and financial modeling, right? So the thing is, any tool which you learn will make your life easy, right? Excel is like, everybody uses Excel, so this is one of the good tools. And if you know the process how to approach a problem to solve, it will make your life easy. Now, be it today, or maybe you will notice after 1 year, 2 years, that it has made your life easy, right? So be it in management or be it in any field. So regardless of the field, if you are dealing with some numbers, then it's a good course for you. So I'm not saying that if you enter into finance field, you are going to keep valuing companies, projects. No, you might be just doing data analysis. And to do data analysis, you need to understand, okay, what to look for analysis, right? What, how to use Excel. So these things are also important. So maybe out of this 100% of the syllabus, maybe 20% will be useful for you, depending on what kind of job you are doing or you want to do. Okay, so even 20% will make your life easy. So that's what I want to say. Does that answer, Aarti? Okay, any other doubts, guys? Any other questions? So I mean, I'll just share my LinkedIn profile. I mean, you can just, my name is Rupinder Monga, and you can search me on LinkedIn also. Okay, and in case, I mean, regarding the course, everything, you can contact EduPristine directly, and they can help you understand, or if you have any further queries. But in case you have any doubts regarding this field before joining EduPristine, then you can contact me on my LinkedIn profile. My name is Rupinder Monga, and you can search me there. And I've seen that I'm the only Rupinder Monga there, and, but you can try. Yeah. So, yeah. Any any doubts, guys? Anything? No doubts. Nothing. All clear. So if all clear, then we can leave it here for today. But again, I would say, if you have any queries regarding the course, anything about the domain, everything, Edubistin person will be in touch with you. You can ask him or her the questions. In case you have any domain specific questions, which I might be able to help, you can contact me through LinkedIn. Okay, you just search for Upinder Monga, and I should be able to. I will try my best to answer your queries. Okay, guys. Okay, so let's stop here. Thank you for attending this session, and thank you for everything. Thanks for the patience. Take care. Have a nice day. At goodbye.